Hello, everyone. This is Ron Bush with Ron Bush Consulting, and you're entering into the information playground. I want to thank you for being with us today. We've got a special guest with us and a good friend. But first, I want to remind you who you are listening to and how you can catch us. First off, we've been coming to you for years from WVLP. It's a great community radio station in Valparaiso, Indiana. Uh, Please, if you're there, catch us on Monday mornings from 8 to 9 and Friday afternoons from 1 to 2. If you are not, or even if you are, you can stream us at those same times by going to WVLP.org. While you're there, check out what WVLP is doing in the community, and I hope you'll consider becoming a part of it. If you're interested in underwriting a program or partially underwriting a program, mine or any of the other fine programs on WVLP, well, you can do that there on the website and find out how to become involved other ways. You can also find us on demand on any of the podcast platforms that I'm familiar with, Spotify, Apple, Google, any of the podcast, as well as view us on YouTube. You can find us all under the Information Playground. With that said, I'm Ron Bush. I'm your host. I own Ron Bush Consulting. We're a cybersecurity consultancy. And if you own a business or you run a business and you're interested in protecting that, uh, give us a call, send us an email, and let us know how we might help. My special guest today is Atso Sikoski. He's a good friend, the chancellor of Valparaiso campus and Michigan City campus for Ivy Tech. Good morning, Atso.
Good morning, Ron. Thank you for having me.
Please tell the folks, not everyone is going to be a regular listener. It's been a little while since you've been on. Tell the folks a little bit about yourself and how you came to be where you're at.
Yes, thank you, Ron. Again, it's so nice to be with you and sharing great news, what is happening in Ivy Tech in the community we live in. I'm also Sikoski, serving Chancellor for Valparaiso campus, Michigan City and LaPorte sites for the last 4 years. Prior to that, I was serving only as a campus president for Valparaiso. But since July of 2019, I'm serving now as a chancellor for LaPorte locations as well. And I've been with the college since 97, full time, and prior to that, part time. And it's really a great pleasure to serve on these kind of positions, anything from being a full time faculty, department chair, program chair, dean for Legacy School of Technology, campus president, and now chancellor. And it's a really pleasure to be in the position to help others to achieve their educational or training skills to be elevated and accomplish those goals.
What a wonderful way to say it. I guess that's what education is truly all about, isn't it?
It's all about student success and what we do so we can improve the quality of lives.
Right. Well, for those that don't know, and I can't imagine anyone living in Indiana that isn't familiar with Ivy Tech, but just in case, tell us a little bit about Ivy Tech. What's the background of the school? Where all do you serve? And, well, tell us about Ivy Tech.
Absolutely, Ron. Ivy Tech Community College is the largest singularly accredited post-secondary institution, two institutions in the nation. We have 19 campuses and I believe 24 or 25 sites. So when we are talking about campuses, for example, Valparaiso is the main campus, and now we have sites in Michigan City as well as LaPorte. This is how we are organized. Each campus, along with the sites, we have our own service area designated by counties. So our service area consists of Porter, LaPorte, Stark, and Jasper County. Up until last year, we used to have Pulaski, but the number of students and population we serve more from Jasper County, they're coming to Valparaiso than Pulaski. So now we shift that. Pulaski went to Kokomo, and before Jasper was served by Lafayette campus, but now that is under our service territory. So we are pleased to offer services to all four locations. or counties. And for the entire state of Indiana, as I said, we have these 19 campuses. Each campus is being led by chancellor like myself. So we have 18 the other chancellors. And of course, in the system office in Indianapolis, we have the president, Dr. Sue Ellspermann, and her cabinet, senior leadership for the college. And that's how we are organized.
Wow, excellent. So for those not familiar with community colleges, they can get a 2-year degree known as an associate's degree. That's the stepping stone to their 4-year or bachelor's degree, or in some occupations or some instances, 2-year degree is all that's needed. And as we've talked in the past, when you get into cybersecurity or IT especially, sometimes it's just certifications is what you need to get in, and Ivy Tech provides all of that. So what's going on at Ivy Tech? What's new? I'm sure there's a bunch of new things. There always is. So let us know what's going on.
Always great things are happening in the Ivy Tech. And one thing I want to just to let audience know and listeners that um, higher education is being known like more static, slow in changes or adapting to the technologies or the way we do things. But that's not the case at Ivy Tech. We always looking for innovative ways how we can support our students, how can we support our communities, how can we better align our program and training programs with the local needs. And as you mentioned, it doesn't have to be 4-year degree, but we do offer certifications, short-term certifications where students can come and they can take 7 courses aligned with the workforce needs, and they can accomplish their goal. And now they have the skills needed to meet the demand in the workforce or in the industry, related industry. So with that being said, when the students, they fulfill that requirement, they can go and get being employed. At the same time, they will continue their education for additional, more likely 4 courses. They're going to earn their technical certificate, which is 1 year equivalent, 1-year degree. And then after that, 1 more year, roughly 30 more credits, equivalent to the full associate degree. Many of our 2-year degrees within the programs, we have transfer agreements. You mentioned students can transfer from Ivy Tech, the 2-year degree, into our 4-year sister institutions in our region, Purdue, IU, Valparaiso University. So they can transfer right here in our region, and they can meet the requirements of the 4-year degree. And that is a great savings when students starting with Ivy Tech and complete their baccalaureate degree at the 4 institutions.
Yeah.
We call that stackable credentialing. You're going to start at the lowest level, earn that degree, then you go to the next level, technical certificate, associate degree. But the beauty is, we call it the short-term certifications. In a rather shorter time, they can earn credentials needed to be employable and continue their education. They don't need to wait 3, 4 years or 5 years to get those credentials to be employable.
Excellent. Excellent. So, I'm just thinking in a day with soaring student loans, that affordability, economic savings, if you will, by starting with Ivy Tech. You can start with Ivy Tech while you're still in high school, or you can do it at any age after. I think you can correct me on this if I'm wrong, but I think the oldest student at Ivy Tech, at least at one time, was in their 80s. Youngest, I don't know, but I'm sure junior in high school. What are they, 16, 15, 16, 17, somewhere in there, probably the youngest. It amazes me what span, there's no age that you need to stop getting your education, and what a great place to start at Ivy Tech.
Absolutely, Ron. Yes, we have these dual credit agreements. We call it dual credit with the high schools and career centers, where students they can start as young as junior high school. But there are some programs such as energy technology program. We have this program developed with Hubert High School, and some students they are starting even as sophomore.
Wow.
So they're starting as sophomore because we wanted to offer the opportunities for these students even to complete 2-year college degree while they still in high school. That's remarkable. And that is just another way how you're going to minimize the student loans and how not only the loans, but at the same time, you're shortening the time. So now you have 18-year-old with 2-year college degree and high school diploma at the same time and ready for the workforce or continuing in their education as a junior at the four-year institution. So that is really remarkable what we do. But when you mention about the loans and those kind of things, we are very innovative. And one of the greatest things, what is I wanted to share with you in the audience is the Ivy Plus initiative, what is being approved and it's taking effect this fall semester. So what Ivy Y Plus is, Ivy Tech is we are offering the lowest tuition in the state of Indiana. Indiana. We are the most affordable and accessible institution for secondary institution. But what IVY plus, and sometimes can be confusing, and I wanted just to slowly explain what that means. There are two legs, two portion of that. And one it's tied to the tuition itself, and the other one is about the textbooks and material needed for each course.
Okay, so Ivy Plus is the program. Let's take a look at the tuition side first. We'll take it one at a time.
Absolutely. So under tuition, I'm pleased to share that we going to freeze the tuition for the next 2 years. No changes. Right now, we are at $149, and to be exact, 55 cents per credit. Yes, that's where we at, and that's going to be frozen for the next 2 years. But what we wanted to do with the other side is that now we are talking about uh, students who are willing to take minimum 12 credits or plus, they're going to pay the same tuition. So students willing to take 12 or 15 credits or 18 credits per semester, they're going to pay the same price, and that is a $2,243.25.
That's
That is really remarkable what we have done for our students to make even more affordable for our students.
yeah. So it's so let me see if I've got this right. If we're talking the fall semester, it's a maximum of um, eh, 2,000 and change for however many credits over 12 that
Correct.
you're taking. 12 is the maximum that'll be charged. So if they're taking 18 credits, they're still paying for 12. In
Absolutely.
so that's in
Absolutely.
the fall semester and spring semester, same thing.
Yes. So students taking 12 credits this fall semester, and they will be paying $2,243.25. Same thing for additional 12 credits in the spring semester, they're going to pay the same price, which is roughly it's a $2,250 per semester for 12 credits. If they're going to take 15 credits, that's what we want them. They're going to pay the same price. If they have ability and capacity and they willing to take even 18 credits, they're going to pay the same price, roughly $2,250. So really that makes affordable. But the good news is too, we understand that majority of our student population, they are part-time. And now we're encouraging them to take full-time 12 credits, even more than 12 credits. And that's going to be challenging for many of them. So what we wanted to do is, and we are offering another opportunity, we call it flexible summer or extension, I should say. What that means, if students are taking 12 credits in the fall semester and they're taking 12 credits in the spring semester, that is going to amount to 24 credits for the 2 semesters. Now, in order to reach to the 30 credits goal for academic year, now we are extending opportunity for those students to take 2 courses equivalent to 6 college credits for free. Yes, Ron, you heard me, for free in a summer semester, as long as students, they're going to take 12 and 12 in the regular semester.
Wow.
Again, the entire goal is for us to encourage the students to complete 30 credits in one academic year, and the next or the following year, take additional 30 credits. So the 2-year degree to be completed in 2 years and assist them to be more successful. Ron, I wanted just to share statistics. It shows that when students are taking full-time load and they are engaged to that level, the completion rates, it's more than 6%, and their retention rate is more than 3-4%. It sounds like it's not big deal, but when we're talking about student population we serve, yes, it is big deal, and we want them to be successful, especially when we're talking about completion rates and college attainment, which means students population age between 18 and 65 having post-secondary credentials. That is the college attainment I'm talking about. Lumina Foundation set a goal to have for the state of Indiana 60% by 2025. Today we are sitting at 48.3%. And some of the counties where we are serving these educational programs and training, we are below 30%. So we have a lot of work to do, and it's our responsibility to make offerings and opportunities to our fellow citizens to get those credentials.
Well, this is certainly a major step in the right direction. If my math is right, 22.43 and 25 cents, I think I wrote down.
Yes.
If you double that for the year, that's $4,486.50 compared to what, 30 to 60,000 a year for a university. Amazing what a savings that is, and it makes it realizable for students. And I know that Ivy Tech also has a lot of grant programs. They have a lot of things where things get discounted as well. But this is just a great savings, less than $4,500, and you've got in 2 years that's $9,000. You've got a 2-year degree, and now you're ready to step up, if that's your plan, if that's your goal, to the 4-year college for your bachelor. What a great opportunity and what a great beginning. So you mentioned 2 things. You mentioned tuition, and we've talked about as long as they're taking 12 credits or more per semester, they'll get the summer semester free up to 6 credits. Let's talk about the second step. That's the tuition. What's the second one?
Is the books, the books and the material are needed for these courses. So we talk about all this roughly about $2,250. But the other good portion about this is how we just move even step farther, where now we're going to include textbooks into the tuition. Right now, we made statistics and analysis. Our students are paying roughly, excuse me, $59 per credit for additional textbooks, digital material, whatever it's needed for the course. The cost is about $59. If we're going to round to $60, average course is at 3 credits, roughly $180 that students are paying per course. for the textbooks and material. Moving forward, now we're going to include the textbooks, materials, everything into the tuition. So what is the cost moving forward? $19 per credit. Yes, I'm going to repeat. From average of $59, now we're going to make a savings down to $19 per credit. So if we're going to round to $20 per credit, times 3 credits, that's a $60. So from today, roughly $180 students are paying for the textbooks. Now they will be paying roughly $60 per course. Huge, huge saving. That it's all good. And we are starting this coming fall semester because we are in the midst of this pandemic and everyone, and we really wanted to help. And I have to share one outstanding news. This fall, this academic year, starting this fall, that $19 college is covering. So now the college will cover the cost for this upcoming academic year, and $19 is going to be next year. So that is really, really remarkable. And probably listeners, they're going to ask questions. How is this possible? Why Ivy Tech is doing it and what we do? We are using the funds. It's called that Higher Education Emergency Relief Funds available to the higher institutions, where 50% we already support the students and everything, but the other portion we are using to cover these costs. So again, it's going back to the students, supporting the students, and make this as easy and seamless as possibly can be. And let me just say this. We are talking about the money. We are talking about the savings and cost and all of that, which is outstanding. But the best and exciting news to me is that all these materials will be available on day one when we're going to start with the course. We, again, through the statistics and analysis, it shows that more than 60% of our students, they're either delayed to buy the textbooks because funds are not available to them on day one or before the course started, or they're up even not to buy the textbook. They are not supplying. Well, you can imagine the impact to the success. So now with this initiative, it's going to be guaranteed that the material will be available on day one for the course, and they need to worry about, the cost and where the money is going to come from. As soon as they're going to pay the tuition, and I am going to mention again, those $2,250, everything is good, and they have material and moving on. No hidden cost, none of that nature. So I think and believe that this is going to alleviate all these unnecessary burden on the students to take care of before the course and the semester starts.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. You've taken at least the financial issues really away. The $4,500 a year to take 30 credits with no cost for books or materials, at least this coming year, 2021 to 22, is just amazing. And then it will go up by $60, I guess, $60 a 3-credit class. So it depends on how many, but even at that, I mean, that's just amazing.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a great savings and all of that. And again, we are talking about here about the financial side, the impact, and how we are supporting students to be successful and those kind of things. But the reason why we are doing so is, yes, we wanted to support students financially, but at the same time, how we can be impactful for their successes. And we're talking the most affordable institutions and all of that. But I wanted to share other good news.
Okay. Before we go leave this subject, let's take a quick break or a quick pause. Let me remind people who they're listening to and how to reach us. And I'll start with you. If people want to contact you or contact the school with questions on this, what's the best number and email for them to use? They can certainly go to the website. I think you gave.
Right. We have the website. It's called ivtech.edu, but they can email at Valparaiso admissions at ivtech.edu or call at 219-464-8514, and we can provide additional information. And I'm going to repeat the numbers and the email address as well.
And I'm on the website right now. There's an ivtech.edu/tuition that they can do to get more information on the frozen tuition, or of course, call the number you just gave or email that you just gave.
Right.
I'm Ron Bush. I own Ron Bush Consulting. We're a cybersecurity consultancy. If you're interested in that for your business, give us a call, email us. If you're listening to us on Monday morning at 8 a.m., 8 to 9 a.m., or Friday afternoon from 1 to 2, you're probably in Valparaiso, and you're probably listening to WVLP 103.1 on your FM dial. If not, you could be streaming us from wvlp.org, and I encourage you to do that. If you're looking for us on demand, maybe you want to listen to this broadcast again, well, then find us on any of the podcast platforms. I think of Overbreak, Spotify, Apple, Google, any of them. You'll find us there, or YouTube, all under The Information Playground. Look us up, and if you like the program, subscribe. I'd love to have you as a subscriber. That way you'll get news of upcoming and new podcasts and new videos. That said, let's move on. What's the other great news that you got?
Thank you, Ron. Again, the most affordable and all these great things are happening, but in more particular for Valparaiso and Michigan City, just this month, we had the ribbon cutting ceremonies for two outstanding labs. One here in Valparaiso, simulation lab designed for the nursing program, and all the other healthcare programs such as paramedic science, surgical technology, healthcare specialties. So all those programs will be able to use the simulation lab. This simulation lab we developed inside, we used to call community room, which was one of the largest rooms we had on campus. And that is located on D Hall, second floor, where we have all these healthcare programs, outstanding paramedic science lab, surgical technology lab, nursing lab, phlebotomy, medical assisting lab, CNA, EKG, all those programs are there. So now by making this addition, where students, they're going to have as real experience as possibly can be. I called, just because we have mannequins instead of real patients, this is truly a hospital or healthcare facility where our students, they're practicing hands-on. So what is this simulation lab? We have 4 rooms we built inside. In the front, there is a sliding glass door, like a ICU type rooms. But we built infrastructure where we can supply medical air or compressed air, anything what's needed in these rooms, of course, with monitors and everything else. But on the back room, there is a technology where the simulation technician can set up situations with the mannequin, in this case, the patient. They can play with the blood pressure, with the breathing rate, with some kind of situation where it's a true situation in the patient room in the hospital. And now the students by themselves, they're inside this room, and they being trained what they need to do, how to do it. And just before they go into this room, they're sitting into the debriefing room, we call it, where the faculty, outstanding faculty, sharing the information, what to expect when they're going to go into the simulation lab, and they see it on the camera. It's a separate room, but they see it on the camera. Here is the mannequin, here is the patient, and they give the diagnosis, those kind of things, being prepped. And now the students, they're going into the simulation lab. But the beauty is the other half of the class, the students, they're in the debriefing room and they're monitoring, they're watching the situation. So it's really cool process how to see from the start all the way to the end how students they're gaining these kind of experiences and be ready when they're going to go on clinical side. Yes, now it is different because now they're working with the patient. It's a live, but at least they went through a good level of training on campus and be ready when they're going to be on the clinical side.
As I recall, that's been a very successful program for you at that campus. And as I recall, you handle the overflow, or you're contracted to handle the overflow for, I guess, the hospital there and any other healthcare providers, I believe.
Absolutely. Did we have 2020 or we skipped from 2019 to 2021, right?
Right.
But the most recent pandemic, no one likes it. No one is expecting. But the fact that we have facility right here in our wonderful community, being able to meet the demand, and if in case the local hospital, Northwest Health, they see they're at capacity and they need to overflow, we will expand that opportunity. Well, we will offer the space and they can use as an overflow for the patients to our community so they can be hospitalized in the sense at the college, because the nursing lab, the surgical technology lab, and now the simulation lab. I mean, this is incredible facility to meet that kind of demand. Again, we don't want that. We're absolutely not, but we are fortunate to have it in case when is needed. And grateful to have such a great partnership with Northwest Health and the support, and of course St. Mary here and all the other hospital and institutions we here in Porter County and LaPorte County, Franciscan, and everyone else, because we need it.
Yeah.
And I wanted just to remind that healthcare industry in Northwest Indiana is the largest employer. So probably many people don't know that, but the healthcare industry is the largest employer in Northwest Indiana.
Wow.
Well, that makes sense because the population we have in Northwest region, Lake County, Porter County, LaPorte, Stark, Sikoski, Jasper, that is the second largest population area after Indianapolis area. So yes, we need to provide healthcare, the hospitals and all the other healthcare institutions to provide services to this population. So that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. So that's excellent. You've got some other news that we talked about before recording.
Yes, and over in Michigan City, another outstanding news and very exciting. That first time ever at Michigan City location, Ivy Tech Michigan City location, we had the ribbon cutting ceremony for manufacturing lab. And this manufacturing lab is all about providing opportunities for high school career center, AK SNEET, when they're going through their Compress Their Academy program, which is being designed to support the major industry in Michigan City to meet the demand, workforce demand out there, because we all know compressed air equipment manufacturing in Michigan City is #1 manufacturer.
Right.
I believe for sure it's in state of Indiana and nation. And I heard many times it's a capital in the world when it comes down for this kind of manufacturing. And Ivy Tech not offering technology programs and to support the industry, it's a big no. So we developed this lab, and now this fall, late this summer, and for sure this fall, we're going to start this program and offering where students will be earning industrial technology, mechanical concentration. We're going to start with CT, but closely to technical certificate and expand it with possibility even to 2 year degree so we can meet the demand for this industry. Uh, Received very, very good support from local companies, and they're excited to see what Ivy Tech does in Michigan City. And of course, the community. I was so delighted to see at the ribbon cutting ceremony the community leaders, the members of the council, city council, mayor, everyone was there just for the ribbon cutting ceremony. And to receive that kind of support, outstanding. Our president, Dr. Elsterman, was there. Our chair from the State Board of Trustees, our trustees, campus trustees were there. The support from Michigan City Schools, Dr. Barbarison Watkins. And I mean, it's amazing when how they're saying if you're going to build it, it will come. Mm-hmm. That's the truth. But the point is just to show that yes, what is your intention, what you wanted to accomplish, and that's our goal, and it's very exciting.
Excellent, excellent. Now, for those of us, we've got a little extra time. Let's delve a little deeper in this. A lot of listeners aren't going to know. Let's say that I'm a student at Michigan City. What is it, industrial technology, that I'm going to learn there? Is it how to work in the mills? Is it how to build things? What does that entail?
Yes, excellent question, Ron. Uh, Although we call this mechanical concentration, and which is consists of 7 courses, but basically it's organized in terms of students will be able to understand everything from fluid power basics, pneumatics, and some troubleshooting systems when it comes down to hydraulics, pneumatic systems. And then you're talking about machine installation and maintenance, cams, shafts, gears, those kind of things. But we all know in today's environment and the technology, pretty much everything is being controlled by some sort of PLC, programmable logical control, or some kind of electronic device. Right. And we wanted our students to know basic electricity, to some level of motor control, and some kind of programming. So we made this, again, we emphasize on the mechanical side with hydraulics and camshafts, gears, those kind of things. But also we embedded the electrical side component. So the students and technicians, they will have better understanding of the system of the drives. Mm-hmm. When something caused a failure, what caused? It doesn't have to, yes, maybe the outcome of the failure is the shaft doesn't turn or it's misaligned, those kind of things. But that is the output. What caused that? Is just because the electric motor, is just because the PLC, or is it the basic understanding of the electricity? What is it? And we wanted our students to have that solid foundation of understanding the systems.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah, that's the whole idea, moving into these directions where students will have a holistic approach, if I can say that way, for the systems to better understand what is the root of the cause, rather than just put a band-aid, just go and change the shaft just because it's not working, without thinking maybe if I'm going to turn it again and maybe a week later it's going to cause the same problem. Right. We don't want that. We want to just to be more creative thinker, and to be more responsive. And of course, speaking to the local employers, soft skills, it's another component where students, we talk about be responsive, show on time, behave, be part of the teamwork, those kind of things. But at the same time, uh, better understand, all about the systems. And when you are even talking and making conversation with the coworker, or if you're just inspector or repair technician and you're sent out on the field to know how you're going to talk to the client, how you're going to make sure that the client feel comfortable with the services provided by the technician. Because when we say the technician is out there and they're fixing equipment and whatever they do, they are representative of the company.
Right.
So the company has 3,000 employees and they are making these best products. But when the technician is out there and fixing the equipment, that person represents the 3,000 people and that in the quality. So there's so many components into this, but we are so grateful talking to the companies and discussing these kind of things. Really, we wanted to make sure that we are crafting our programs and training sessions to cover as much as many of these topics, if not all, possibly we can.
Yeah. That's always been, I felt, one of the strengths, one of your strengths, and one of the strengths of Ivy Tech. You always research with the business community. What is it that you need? And I use the term field of dreams philosophy. It has seemed to me in the past that a lot of universities and colleges had that philosophy. We'll create the degree and people will come. Didn't matter as to the usefulness or the need. Um, that's not how Ivy Tech works, and that's not how you work. I was in Rotary with you, and we've known each other for years. I've been in different business organizations with you, and I've watched you. It's always, what is it that you need? What are you looking for? What do you need in an employee? What skills are you looking for? How can we help? I remember when you had just brought, you have got a big flex room there in Valparaiso, and you had brought in some special equipment for NIPSCO. They needed training on that. I think you've done the similar thing for NITCO. You just, that's how I think education should work. I think if we if we educate people for things that are not needed, we're dooming them to fail. If we educate them, it's hard enough to educate them for jobs that don't exist yet. But if we educate them in areas that they don't, there is no need now or in the future, we've done them a disservice. And Ivy Tech doesn't do that. They gauge what is needed now and what does the future look like. And I love the way that works.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned even that energy program, and of course with the need for what we partner. But that is another excellent example when we are working with the related industry and crafting these programs, such as energy technology program. We crafted this program with the NIPSCO, partnering back. I mean, right there in the same room, and we developed the program. And I recall that was back in late 2000, I would say like 2007, 2006, 7. And now we are sitting and we know that at that time we developed three concentrations. One is the electric lineman. Second is the natural gas service and installation. And the third one is, or I should say was, power plant. Well, we all know that some of these plants is going to be decommissioned. They already started some of the plants. It's no longer in use. And now it's more and more about the renewables, solar, wind, and those kind of things. Well, now we wanted really to continue to do that. So what I wanted to say is we have solid foundation. We already built the program. And now when the changes are coming, or they are coming rather faster, we wanted to be responsive. And now we are paying a lot of attention about the solar panels and installation and how that is going to work with the wind, the renewable energy. And that is truly our responsibility. You mentioned how we do that through the program advisory committee. And I believe you served on one of them for the cybersecurity. We really wanted to hear from the industry representatives, from the experts, what we need to do, how our program can be compatible and support these workforce needs. So again, these program energy technology, the emphasis now, we will continue with the alignment with the natural gas, but how are we going to now elevate with the solar panels and renewable energy, because that is the future and that's what's coming.
Excellent, excellent. We are, I'm sorry, we are getting down to the last 10, 12 minutes or so. Last thoughts, things that I should have been asking you, things that you'd like to get across that we haven't discussed. I think it's amazing, Ivy Plus. The school is obviously, I don't want to say taking a hit financially, but they're taking in less money than they could, but they're doing so to serve the students, and they're doing so at a time that student enrollment is down. The timing couldn't be better. People that have put off maybe their gap year because of the pandemic or whatever their reasoning might be, now's an excellent time to get in and either complete your 2-year degree or start it. The healthcare relationship that you have with the hospital and others, with handling the overflow, your very successful nursing program, manufacturing lab in Michigan City. That's new to me. I didn't. I knew that you had taken over supervising that campus, but I didn't know about the new lab. That's excellent news. Anything else? Anything?
Absolutely. We mentioned about Michigan City, but also I wanted to mention even our location at City of LaPorte, where we are offering CDL Plus program, as well as industrial technology, electrical concentration, NPC. What I wanted to say is, in a similar way, in Michigan City, we're offering industrial technology, mechanical. Over in City of LaPorte, we are offering industrial technology, electrical, same fashion, same deal. We are offering this program because of the local industry workforce needs. We wanted students to come and complete these credentials, much more needed than any other time, complete the credentials right there in the city and provide the needs and support to the industry. So of course, the pandemic, we started with this program around back in 2000. We met in 2019 with the mayor and local government, city government, as well as the local industry. We crafted the program. It was approved and everything. And like anything else, we said, what happened now? 2 weeks later, we closed everything, right? 2019. And I said, okay, well, I'm sorry, 2020, I should say. So we've done everything what we possibly could. We did the completion academy for the students, so they were able to complete the required hands-on experience. But really, it was challenging. Now, as a final thought, I wanted just to say to audience and everyone, now we're going to be open. We are offering more than 75% of our course sections, some way, some fashion, they will be in person on campus. Why we are doing that? We really wanted to go back as we used to be pre-COVID, but we are sensitive. Students, they got more comfortable with the technology, virtual Zoom meetings or Teams, online, those kind of things, and then they really adapted to this new way of delivery. But at the same time, we don't want it to lower the quality of education when it comes down for students to practice on the equipment, to be on campus. And honestly, to be in the classroom, in the kind of environment, to see people in person, be with the faculty in the classroom. So all those kind of things is going to happen. So we elevate number of courses in person for sure this fall, and we elevate the number of courses, we call it hybrid. We have learn from anywhere, which means students, when we are scheduling course, they can come on campus at the assigned date and time, be in the classroom. Faculty, the professor is going to record that Zoom like we are doing it right now. So that can be posted later on, or students, they can attend the class session remotely. So that's why we call learn from anywhere. We elevate those number of courses, and then hybrid. Maybe lecture is going to be virtual or online, and the hands-on is going to be at the location in the lab. So definitely we trying to meet the needs to respond to the students, how they adopted the new learning, and of course, pay attention to the highest level of the quality of the educational delivery. That's what we do, and that's how we do it. So I invite everyone, please reach out to us at 464-8514 in Valparaiso admissions at ivtech.edu, because classes for the fall semesters are starting on August 18th, and now we are admitting for the new semester. So those are kind of things what we do on. And really, again, thank you so much for having me on your show. It's always wonderful. Great things are happening, and for offering the opportunity to share all these great things, what's happening in our service area and all these counties, what Ivy Tech does for our fellow citizens. And you too, what you're keeping us informed about cybersecurity. And I have to say, anytime I'm talking to you, keep scaring me. I say you're scaring me about the cybersecurity, but yes, it's a good intentions that be safe out there, because it's amazing when I am in our outstanding cybersecurity lab here in Valparaiso campus and talking to Professor Rami, and I'm seeing it on the screen, how real time, how many attacks it's coming between the continents, between the countries, between the locations. It's truly scary. So we need to be mindful of everything what we do. Turned off the cell phone if you can at night, and all those good things when you're telling me and giving me those wonderful advices. So really appreciate that, Ron.
Thank you. Thank you for all of that, for the time we spend together, for the time we talked about Ivy Tech. Thank you for the little plug there on the cybersecurity. Since you gave me a little segue there, in a day that we've finished 2020, which was an awful year for cybercrime. We finished it with the SolarWinds breach, which hit most of the federal government, most of the Fortune 500, and most of the largest corporations in the country. They had 18,000 clients. We also started the year with the discovery of the Excellion breach that took out Kroger chain of supermarkets, as well as many of the largest law firms in the country. Jones Day is one. I think they've got 2,500 attorneys around the world. We also had Microsoft Exchange server discovered late February, March, which is 30,000 US servers, as well as 300,000 around the globe. We don't know the extent of all of that. In fact, we don't know the extent of any of that. They're still investigating all of it. And yet cybercrime continues to just explode. I'm always grateful that Ivy Tech has led the way, I think, in educating people in that, teaching people the importance of staying safe, good computer hygiene. A lot of universities are starting to offer programs. Ivy Tech's been doing it for a long time. and their leadership shows in the NSA grant that they got to continue their work. And you mentioned Professor Rami. He's one of the best known, honestly, cyber security gurus that I know of. He knows everybody everywhere in government and in business, and he knows all that's going on and what to do about it. Ben Marrero over there handles the department well. It's just a well-run school and a well-run department and a well-run area. I want to thank you for all of that. So
Absolutely.
with that, one last time, give folks a way to contact you or who they need to at Ivy Tech to learn about Ivy Plus, to learn about the opportunities in nursing in Michigan City. What's the best way for them to do that?
Absolutely. Just call us at 219-464-8514 or email to us valpoadmissions@ivytech.edu, or simply visit the ivytech.edu website. And it's very simple, very easy. The front page is going to just click apply or ask for information. It's going to be that virtual first conversation to chat with somebody. But I encourage everyone, just visit ivytech.edu, call us, email us. We are here to provide the best information so you can start your educational journey right here with the best institution to earn those short-term credentials, as well as 1-year and 2-year degrees, much needed to support the industry. We all heard employers cannot find enough employees. They can't. And that it's a wonderful thing in the sense of what we can do, what we can offer to students and citizens, they can get those credentials. So please reach out to us.
Great.
Call us.
Well, you've been listening to or viewing Otso Sikoski with Ivy Tech. I'm Ron Bush. I own Ron Bush Consulting. We're a cybersecurity consultancy. I hope you're catching us on WVLP. They're an excellent community radio station in Valparaiso, Indiana. Their call letters are WVLP. Their website is wvlp.org. If you're local, you can find them at 103.1 FM or stream us from the website and find out how to become a part of what they're doing in the community. You can also find us on demand at the Information Playground on any of the podcast stations I know of, or you can catch us and watch us on YouTube, all under the Information Playground. Well, thank you for being with us today. It's been a pleasure as always. Stay safe, stay healthy, and join us next time on the Information Playground.